Hello, beautiful ladies and anyone else who's joining us today. Welcome to the Mindful Her Woman, and I'm with WCTV. Today, I love this topic that we're talking about, especially because school is back in. And today's topic is the power of no. With the power of no, I know that here we've talked before about people pleasing, but this topic is a little bit different. The power of no. We're going to talk about what is the power of no? It's saying no, of course. Why? What happens? Why you have to say no to some things? And how? How to say no, do it in a nice way, do it in a way that you're comfortable with. No is not a rejection. It's a redirection. And it's for you. It's for you as to what really matters in your life. Again, you know I'm always talking about your time, how you spend your time in life. Also, you need to control your time. I'm going to give you a couple tips on that today as well. It's back to school time. What happens when we're back in school? We have scheduling differences. We become very, very structured. We have extra activities, not only for ourselves, but also for our children, our grandchildren, and it steps up. It's that time of year. Right now, we're in the middle of that change that shakes us up a little bit because things are getting back to usually what's considered our normal in the way that we're coming off of summer. And I hope everyone's had a wonderful summer. And as women in our society, we do feel that we have to carry a lot of responsibility. Number one, you do carry a lot of responsibility. But in a society way, women need to handle all. And that's what we feel we have to do, is handle everything. And a lot of times we feel we need to say yes to everything. But that is not controlling your time. It's not controlling your life. So let me explain. Let's give us a few examples of why this happens. Big subject the last 2 weeks with women in my group are those who are teachers. So within our teacher realm, if you're a teacher, a lot of times what will happen, and this happens anywhere, but within teachers, you've got new teachers coming in. This year within our own community, we had a lot of teachers retire out, but people are coming into a new school, etc., which is wonderful. We want to help, everyone as much as we can. Being a team member is very, very important. But there are people who you work with in the teacher community as well. You will have administrators, and I'm only talking to you about this because it was brought up within my group of teachers. And there are some schools, I'm not saying it's this school in my community, but there are schools that administrators are depending upon teachers to do their own reports. I realize that in teaching, we're swamped. Teachers take home work, administrators work late hours, extra activity, coaches, we're all working extra. But when this is happening and you say yes, knowing that you don't really have the time, you're giving away your empowerment. You're giving away your energy. So be very selective when you say yes when someone asks you to do something. There are some people who do not mind taking advantage of you, and they will just, as long as you say yes, they'll keep handing you more and more. They're handing you more of their job. You are not here to do someone else's job. You are here to participate and help. However, you must have the boundary, because if you're doing someone else's work, what happens to your evening, which is your personal time? It now gets taken away. So what we talked about on the teacher end was, oh, guess what? I had to bring home my lesson plans. I had to bring home my, if teachers are doing IEPs, I had to bring, all of that home. I allowed someone to come into my classroom and we chit-chatted, and that conversation went longer, and I didn't know how to say no and cut that conversation off. I'm going to give you a quick tip today on that as well. So this is called a gravity timer. This gravity timer, have this on your desk. Whether you have it on or you don't, what happens is this has a 60. I just pop this cube over. It's got a 30-minute, it's got a 10-minute, and it's got a 5-minute. You can set that on the back. It can vibrate. You can have a low alarm sound or a high. When someone comes in, and you can flip this back or you can flip it forward and the time will stop. If someone comes in to interrupt you, and this was a conversation that I had with another teacher, and it was someone who, she just wanted to talk, came into her classroom, but this was a time to work. Lesson plans need to be done. We're in situations where that day needs to be planned for students. We don't have a lot of time. So as this person comes in, she's eating up this teacher's time, and she's allowing that to happen. We can't allow it to happen. So have this cube here, set it for whatever you want. When someone comes in, just say, oh, there you go. I have a few minutes. I can talk to you. They already know that you've set them up. You can't talk long. Or you can say, you know what? You can click this on and say, I've got 5 minutes to give you, and the clock is ticking. When that goes off, you know for both of you, 5 minutes, and that's it. It's a great tool. You can pick this up on Amazon. I think I paid $11. And you can pick different ones. Black and white is fine for me. I don't need anything fancy and hot pink and all that good stuff. But next thing, here's another example. As a businesswoman, you're in a corporation, you work any kind of business in town, what have you. Again, when you're keeping this on your desk, people know about your conversation, because in businesses, what happens? I remember when I was working at a firm, and I had a gal who would want to talk the whole first hour, hour and a half before the day got started. I'm a person who likes to sit down at my desk. My brain works the best in the morning, and I want to get to work and get going. So as she's talking, I'm starting to get a little crazy. Had I had the gravity flip here, I could have just turned it over and said, okay, we have 5 minutes, we have 10 minutes. And is that very fair to a boss? You're eating up their time by talking all day long. We have enough distraction when it comes to social media on our phone, texting on our phone. If the kids are texting, you're scrolling, distraction all day long on the brain. So with that, I want you to keep something in mind. You will have coworkers who will ask you for help. Again, by all means help. But when it becomes of taking advantage, and I kind of want you to do this for me, that's different. If you have a boss who's asking you to do their job, put a boundary and say no. And I'm going to show you some tips on how to say no nicely, okay? So you don't feel like, oh gosh, and I was told by 3 different people last week, gosh, Michelle, how do I do that? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to say no. For me, it's very simple. It's a no, N-O, no. No is a sentence, but I'll show you how to do it so it doesn't seem so harsh, okay? And the third thing, if you're a business owner, you're going to get approached a lot, as you know, or if you're becoming an entrepreneur business owner, you're going to be asked to donate to many things. You're going to be asked to join committees, join different organizations. When this happens, this is what I had to learn quite some time ago. I would pick what my donations were going to be for the year and how much money I was going to send for those donations. I'm a strong believer in donation. I'm a strong believer in community, but you've got to set a boundary and have a limit. If not, people will come all day long. I remember in the office that I had a gal come in and she was like, oh, if you could spend $1,200. And I knew that $1,200, if I were advertising in that end on that magazine, was not going to bring me in the audience that I was looking for. Now, not to mention, social media is free. Okay, it's free. So I want you to think about things like that. And again, this also has to do with your time. If you say yes to everyone, you're saying no to the life that you really want. You're saying no to your energy, because now what happens? We have burnout, and we don't want that. We have women that, all the time they felt so burnt out, they feel so overwhelmed. You have to ask yourself, what am I saying no to? So saying no is a yes for you. That's what that's about. So I'm going to help you real quick. No, again, it's not a rejection. It's a choice, and that choice is empowerment for you. Honor your limits. It's simply self-respect. You have to have limits for yourself, and then your self-respect, it comes more and more. Overcommitting, again, it leads to burnout. And choosing no allows you to choose your values, your goals, and I love this, your life vision. Because if you have a vision for your life, which you should, that's in your work, your family, personal, be it your health, etc., you need to have a vision. And in order to achieve that vision, you've got to watch this time right in here. We've talked about this. You have to watch your time. You have to tell people, I've got this much time. If you're sitting down to do something for me, I'm extremely excited. I've started to write a book. When I sit down to write that book, this is why I bought it. This goes on 60, and I sit this right here. I've got 60 minutes to do some writing, and then my brain needs a break. And then I can come back. But that is how we're valuing our own time and how we're saying no to others. It doesn't have to be harsh. So I want you to think of these explanations, should I say. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to this right now. You do not owe an explanation as to why you cannot commit to something, no matter how much they prod at you or they want to know. And you can just simply say, this is how I run my life. This is a boundary. I have so much time for my family. This doesn't fit for me right now. If you want to come back to me in a year or next year, feel free to do that. I can't commit, but thank you. Very simple. I appreciate the offer, but right now I have to pass. And if you are kind of thinking of it, you can say, I need to think about it first, but actually I need to look at my calendar. You may find this is something you'd like to do. The question is, do I have time to do it? Oops, excuse me. Do I have time to do it? And again, never apologize for you saying no. It's a boundary. It's that simple. I myself, this is an example for me, I had someone who wanted to have a big discussion on text last week, and long paragraphs. I'm one who will tell you, if you think you're going to have a relationship of long paragraphs on text and you're actually going to get somewhere on a device and a tool that has no tone of voice, best of luck to you. So I had to say to this person, I cannot spend time on this particular subject right now. However, we can talk on the phone or we can Zoom. But today I have my niece and I have a full day planned, and this is fun for me and my niece. There's my boundary, there's my no. I said it in a nice way. I actually typed it in a nice way. You can use voicemail for that too, as you know. What I really want to stress to you is, when you're watching your time, please always know, if you have children in your life, be it a sibling, be it a child, be it a grandchild, be it someone who you're a mentor with, whatever the case is. I'm an aunt, and I'm a great aunt. I told them I finally got the title, great aunt. So with that, you have to watch, because your children are always watching. We are always teachers. We're teachers to children. We're teachers to those around us. When someone sits back and they watch you have that boundary, they know, now look at her life. That's how she gets things done. If a child will watch you, they will say, Mom or Dad is always busy. They're not paying attention, or they're stressed, and then they're kind of grouchy later. This is how a child's going to think. And as that child grows up, they then can make a decision. I'm going to either act like my parent acted, or I can decide I'm never going to do that because I watched how stressed they were and I missed out on time. That is not what it's about. And your child's activities during the school year, this also shows them how much time do they have for how much energy. If you've got a child that's in too many activities and their energy is drained, and then you're going to sit back and say, well, why did our grades drop? You really have to look at what's going on and pay attention to what's happening too with our children. And I have to say this today, children need structure, they need discipline, they need attention that comes from parents, mentors, guardians. It comes from those around them. And please, I know that you already are, is to pray for the shootings that happened here in the U.S. yesterday, and where someone has gone into a church during a church mass. In this case, we've seen it happen in every case, and there were 2 children's lives lost. There are people injured, and a lot of times this sort of situation, and of course it can become political, but I will tell you, things start at home. Be very mindful, ladies, gentlemen, how you yourselves are conducting your lives. Because when these children watch us, they then grow up. If they aren't receiving discipline, structure, attention, they're going to grow up knowing there was no attention, discipline, attention. And this is what builds on what happens. And they are not taught how to treat with their emotions, how to act with their emotions. Many, many prayers to everyone involved in that. To the little angels that went home yesterday, God bless. And the moment that you master no, which includes your children doing too much, not enabling children, watching those who are enabling children, this transforms not only your life, but it also transforms others' lives. I thank you so much. I thank you for joining the Mindful Her Woman. Again, I'm Michelle Merrix. You can catch me on social media. You'll see the credits here after. You can catch me on Facebook at Michelle Merrix, and you can also email me, michellemerrix@gmail.com. I'm a life coach, the Mindful Her Woman, I look forward to meeting you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.